coming to you live just moments after we finished the last podcast. We forgot to record the video, so you will be staring at us disappointed, but at least you can hear us the whole time.
That's wild. I'm like so annoyed.
You know what? Sometimes
it's not annoyed. It's not the right word. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm just so flabbergasted.
It's too bad this part's not recording
because we were watching ourselves. Like we kept looking at the camera too and like talking and yeah.
It's okay.
So it's just gonna be a picture of us like
disappointed.
Shamed. Yeah. Well, thanks for
you got to make mistakes to learn from them.
Listening to us.
Yeah, thanks for listening to us. And then I interrupted.
Okay.
Good job.
Bye.
Recording has begun. One of these days we'll get the
like beginning part.
Yeah,
we're still a little awkward. Sorry.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. It's me, Frannie.
So weird. It's Kaitlynn
from Tenacity. How are you guys doing today?
Welcome back.
Episode 2. Lucky 2.
Yeah. So, we posted our first podcast.
Yes, that was super fun.
Yeah, like 4-ish days ago.
Yeah. Got it on YouTube. Go check it out. We got it on a little bit on the TikTok, Spotify, Apple
Podcasts.
It's on all the places you find your normal podcasts. Please go like and subscribe.
Right. We're on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube.
I'm gonna eventually get a Substack set up. That's gonna be one of my next goals.
She's handling that. I have no idea what that is.
Yep, gonna work on that. I think that'll be super fun to have kind of like a you gotta figure out your eyeballs there.
We're wearing the glasses today.
I like the glasses. Good vibe. But yeah, so we got that uploaded. I watched I had a girl come up that I've watched before. Like she does mostly for ASMR, but it's also for like readings or whatever. And she came up today.
Like tarot?
Yeah, and she pulls out her cards and she's like, this could be for you, this could not be for you. She's like, if you see like a 1 or a 3 or 1 or a 4, and I had 333 when it came up. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. So she did 333, and then she was like, or if you see a double number, and I was like, well, I saw a triple number with 3. So I was like, that's really good. And in part of what she was talking about was she said, if you're wanting to do content, you should start now. Like, don't wait to be perfect. And I was like,
dang, is that not the exact message?
Yeah. So I was like, okay. So then I was like, well, then I'll ramp up like doing other content too. So I'm going to really put out some more content. So I'll be working on Instagrams and TikToks as well.
When I saw your Instagram stories that you posted today, I was like, she's not working.
They were actually really easy to make. I was surprised at how easy they were to make. Because
they looked good.
I had the idea of what I wanted to do. I just did it in Canva on my phone real quick.
It's cute.
And I got
Go to our Instagram, Tits and Tenacity.
Yeah.
And check our stories out before tomorrow morning rolls around.
Yep.
And wait, by the time you see this, it'll be
next week. But you know,
this isn't going to work.
It's okay. We're still learning how that process works.
Check again in a week. They'll be equally as cute, but different.
Yeah, perfect. And then, because I want to get some of your input too. So when you are reading something you think is really good or listening to something different or whatever you want to do, we'll put it on there. I
had a really good thought for a podcast episode, but I was in a space where I had nothing to write. And of course, it's there.
It'll come back.
It'll come back when I'm editing this video.
Okay, perfect.
Because I had to watch last week's video 20 times. And then each time I watched it, something new.
I love it. Yeah, today I was watching a Smosh, Monday is Smosh's podcast episode, and they were having a, like, share your favorite TikToks. And it was, like, a share your favorite TikTokers as well. So I think that would actually be really fun to do. I think that I have a fun story that would go back to our first podcast that we did that I think would connect really well. So we'll have to do like a whole TikToks episode. I think
I like
be really
it.
Fun.
Trust me, I share a lot.
That would be really fun.
I stopped saving them to my TikTok and just like I'm just gonna repost it. And like, I don't have to show you all of them. I can just.
I love a good little repost.
Oh my god! Ow.
Did anything? So tell me about your weekend real quick, and then we'll get into today's podcast episode.
So my weekend, we went to the gym Friday night. A new Planet Fitness has opened in our area. So we've been checking that out. That's probably my primary gym now, just because it's more convenient.
Yep. So we went there Friday night.
That was Friday night.
We went to Panera. Saturday you went to the race. Or not the race, but the track.
Oh, that's right. Saturday I went to Savannah, kind of, Effingham County. And my brother has a Corvette and likes to drive fast, so he went to a track day and we supported him, and it was nice.
Super fun.
And we really didn't do anything the rest of the day.
Yeah, and then Sunday we
met at the town center.
Went to the Cheesecake Factory.
Got
some salads.
Some chicken Caesar salads.
Exactly. Super yummy. And then we did a couple laps around the mall. I did all that fun stuff.
Hit up Barnes & Noble.
We did go to Barnes & Noble.
For that fresh book smell.
And had to go to the bathroom, too.
Yeah, but they don't need to know that.
I think it's funny.
I'll leave that.
We just had to go to the bathroom. There was a line at the Cheesecake Factory.
Cut that out.
No,
just kidding.
Cut it.
Cut it out.
Yeah, so what did I do? Friday night? I don't think I did anything Friday night. We went to the gym, and then...
Oh, wait, after the gym, we went to the town center. Yeah, and that's when we went to Panera.
Yeah, we went to Panera.
And we planned out kind of what we were going to do.
Yeah, and then Saturday, I was dog sitting Saturday and Sunday. So Saturday, I went out to the beach, where I was dog sitting, and hung out with the dog. Went to a local brewery that my friend is the brewer for. Hung out with her.
Shout out.
Green Room Brewing. That was fun. Went there. Yeah, it's good times. Good times.
Good times were had.
It was like good times were had. And then Sunday we hung out and did stuff. Oh, okay. So Sunday night I started watching a new show.
I saw that today.
Called The Rivals.
Did you finish it?
I did not get to finish it.
Oh, thank God. No, I was like, I bet she did the whole thing.
I didn't get to finish it. I didn't have enough time last night. I went to bed too late already. My watch yelled at me Ring yelled at me this morning because I got like 6 hours of sleep last night and it was mad at me. That's
pretty good. I get 6 hours of sleep every night.
It didn't like it very much. It was like, you only got 2 hours of REM sleep and 2 hours of deep sleep. And I'm like, I'm sorry, get out there. So I watched like 4 or 5 episodes last night. So there's like 4 or 3 left. So I don't think I'll finish it tonight. But it's good. I don't know what I was expecting because I just went off of, it just became my whole TikTok feed. And then I liked one video of one of the main stories. It's based in the 80s, and it's based on like a non-CBS, non-ABC, like non-big network TV, and they get this guy to come in and be like the leader of the interview show. And the guy who owns the company or is like the head of the company is this horrible human being. And you don't realize he's horrible. You just think he's like a businessman. And then you see like how horrible of a human being he is as it goes on. And eventually like the guy leaves and like there's like a whole thing associated with it. I won't go too much into it. But one of the stories is there's this, like the first scene is a butt.
Up somebody's butt?
Not up somebody's butt, just a butt, like doing things.
Okay, so it is somebody's butt.
It's somebody's butt, just like
thrusting,
having sex in the airplane bathroom,
the laboratory,
and it just there's a lot of sex. In the show.
This is on Disney.
Technically, it's on Disney Plus. In the UK, it's Hulu, but you can watch it on Disney.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was a lot of. I don't know what I was expecting going in, but I don't think it was that. But the main characters that I saw the TikToks about was a bunch of like fan edits of this older gentleman who's like in his 40s, and he catches feelings for a girl who's like 21, and it's like this age gap. They call him like horny Mr. Darcy, so it's like Mr. Darcy but grown up, and it's like the yearning is just kind of out of control, and it's so much fun. So. You're gonna face me? I know, I can't figure out how to do it.
It hurts to turn completely sideways. I'd rather just face you.
Hello.
We're figuring it out.
Yeah, so it was just a really good show. It's been good so far.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, no, did you
wasn't holding my mic.
No, we're good. So yeah, I enjoyed it. It's been fun so far, and it's a little bit different. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's been good.
Anything comparable to either the show itself or how good it is? Like, what can you compare it to that maybe I've seen so I know, like, oh yeah, I might want to watch that?
I don't know. That's hard.
Does it have more or less sex than Bridgerton?
More.
Ooh, I already want to watch this.
And there's a penis in it. Like a full frontal, like I was not expecting that either, which is fine, like whatever. But yeah, it's a little tamer now that it's in the middle of it. Now it's a little bit more dramatic between like
They want to get people hooked.
Yeah, like they had that, and then now it's a little bit more dramatic, and they're still just now the guy is kind of weaned off of like having sex with everybody's wives. That's what he was kind of doing in the beginning. There's a lot of like infidelity. It's just part of the show. It's just dramatic. So there's a lot of that going on, and then he kind of weans off of that because he kind of, you can tell, is falling in love with this girl, and he like.
Is she married to somebody else?
No. She's 21. She's barely legal. And he like says some line about like, I see myself through you for the first time, and I don't like what I see. So you kind of see him change.
Talk about introspection
for her or for what he wants to be better. So he like stops sleeping around. He like stops drinking. He like does things to keep her there, like so her family doesn't have to leave. It's cute so far. So
okay.
I'm enjoying it. It's British, so it's a fun show. Yeah.
We're like a British man.
Oh, hello.
Well, I'm not watching anything new.
Okay, perfect.
But I have started all kinds of older shows.
Yeah.
I don't know, relive that age of myself. So Gossip Girl, Sex and the City. Is it Sex and the City? I can't remember.
Get it right.
I think it's Sex and the City.
I never get it right though. Yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying you started Gossip Girl.
I'm watching Your Honor with my mom. I've already seen it, but it's a really good show. It's like murder mystery, even though you know who did it in the beginning, but nobody else in the show does. It's really good. And so I think that's it. I'm just like flipping between Gossip Girl, Sex and the City, Your Honor.
Yeah, I'm usually not the best at watching TV shows, but this one caught me like they did with Maxton Hall and not Jane the Virgin. My Lady Jane was another really good one that TikTok got me on.
That's one with sex in it, right? And she like goes back in time or something. Oh, I'm thinking of something else.
It might be My Lady Jane. My Lady Jane takes place in the past, but it's an alternate universe where there's magic. But there is a lot of sex in that one too.
Does she have an affair on her husband?
No.
Okay, I'm thinking of a different show. That sounds similar.
But yeah, Maxton Hall is the one about the teenagers. They have sex in that one too. That one's good too. That one's in
the
German,
driving force of all entertainment.
So that one is in German, so you have to watch it with subtitles.
Oh, heck no.
It was really good.
Even though I actually don't... Oh, another show I started watching. Yes. The subtitles got me. Squid Game.
Oh, because there's a season 2 coming out, I've heard. Oh, I don't know if I can watch that.
It's very gory.
Yeah, I'm not a gory girly. I don't think I can
Something about it really excites me, even though I don't like blood.
I love it. Yeah. It's so fun.
Mom hasn't seen it, and she hates dubbed shows and movies, and it's dubbed. So, oh well, I'm putting her through it.
Yeah, I did. I think for Maxton Hall, I did dubbed and subtitles, which they tell you not to do because they don't really match very well. You really choose one or the other.
I like dub. I mean, I keep subtitles on because I can't hear
I like to
everything.
Read anything, yeah.
But I like dub so I can, if I can hear it and read it at the same time, it not matching would confuse me, but yeah, it helps my brain. Yeah,
like when I put on Rivals, I did it through Disney Plus originally, but I couldn't choose subtitles, so I had to go to Hulu and sign in and watch it that way because it wouldn't let me update the subtitles. So I was like, I can't do this. This hurts too much. But yeah, I'm excited. I think it's going to be a good show. My next thing I do need to go back and do is watch Agatha All Along.
Oh yeah, I want to watch that along with you. You'll probably finish it before me, but I want that to be something we can talk about.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll plan a time to start doing it and whatever.
Just tell me when you want to start it.
Yeah.
We're doing great. We got like a minute and a half left on the 15-minute check mark.
And then, it's a busy couple weeks. We both are possibly doing some traveling coming up, so we'll have some stuff to talk about with that too.
He doesn't know about this podcast yet.
There's like 2 people that know about it. It's our 2 friends.
My mom.
My mom, my dad. The person I'm dog sitting for, my friend who I'm dog sitting for, talked about it today with her, so it was fun.
And Hannah, did you tell Hannah, or did she just discover it?
I just saw, yeah. So our friend Hannah followed us, so we're super excited.
I was like, how did she stumble across this? Like, I knew that it's connected to my account, so it probably pops up for people, but I didn't know how she would know that it was us.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Unless she randomly watched the story, which I didn't check, and then, Hannah, hey, we were going to do a shout out, and now we're wondering like how you even discovered it.
Yeah, because I know on because I technically have 2 Instagrams right now. I have like my personal one that I'll eventually make private, and then I have one that I'll move forward with things that I feel like are shareable versus personal. And that one, I have a couple people who follow me on that one, like Ryan and like our main group of friends, a couple of them do. So I wonder if she found it through that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. Hey, Hannah, for following us. We appreciate it. So now, are we ready to move on to today's topic?
Let's go to today's topic.
Today's topic is, what's the best way we can phrase it? Like,
just goals.
Goals. It was 2025 goals, but I've kind of already started a couple of them myself. So
yeah,
it's not something that
I think we're in our don't wait era. Yeah. We're in our just start, even if it's not
perfect
era. We're Hints adults now.
The lady I saw today on TikTok who told our fortune and start our stuff. So yeah, so you want to go first?
Sure.
Or like, what? How do you want to do it? Yours seems much more in depth than mine does. Like mine, I will be able to like talk on, but you have like a much bigger circle. So do you?
Okay, so I'll talk about why I did it this way. So obviously, I waited till today to write anything down because that's something I'm still learning to not do is procrastinate. And then in my head, it was very basic, and I thought, this is a podcast. I got to have more substance to talk about. So I went to Pinterest. And I typed in goal types so I could break it down and make it easier in my brain to really think about what kind of goals I want. So I came across this. It was wheel of, I don't freaking know.
Wheel of life for a balanced year.
Yes. And I'll start with the categories. Okay. And then I'll go into more detail. So in the wheel, it has 8 different categories: career and business, finance, family and friends, love and romance, recreation, self-care, personal growth and learning, and physical environment. So clearly I got busy and I stopped filling it in, but I just need the category, so I think we'll be all right. Perfect. So you want me to go through all my...
Yeah, or I guess I can even try to put mine into yours as well, like what I have. I have like 5 main things.
Okay.
But I'll try to fit them in as we kind of go through, and that'll be good.
Okay, let's start with career and business, because... Oh, no, okay.
No, we can start. No, I have to go over it anyways. No, that's fine. That's not something technically I have. Well, that's not true. We do.
You have podcast
It's goals. More not career. Career is what freaks me out. But yes, business.
Podcast is career.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start there.
Okay, so we're going to start with career and business. This being one of our ventures, our goals, we really want to strive to get an audience going and
have a fun podcast.
Yeah. You have more like ideas of goals for the podcast?
Yeah, I have a more thought process. My brain, I kind of realize, is like a marketing brain, kind of. Like it thinks how I feel like an influencer might think. So I have ideas of how to make it bigger than just a podcast and how to build that and grow that, and like goals that I have written down for like the podcast, vlog, TikTok. I have goals for that, like that kind of thing. For me, the career thing is hard because my main one thing career-wise... I can't say that. Career-wise is I really want to focus on maybe eventually getting a work-from-home job. We have some plans possibly for traveling next year. That would really make that easier. If this can't become money-making right away, it definitely will take time, obviously.
Speaking of work-from-home jobs, did you check out that 4 remote jobs that Guy talked about?
I didn't get a chance to yet, but I have the companies. I know one of them was CVS, and there's a couple other ones too. Yeah, one of them was CVS. I wouldn't have
thought CVS had remote jobs.
Yeah, he said CVS. There was a couple other ones in there as well that were like bigger names. So I'm going to take a look at them. I did a lot last week, but I haven't done as much this week. This weekend was just so busy. So
check out Availity. My ex Brian's mom works for Availity.
Okay, perfect.
She's like higher up. Maybe I can say, hey, Brian. Actually, I think I follow Lori. Hi, Lori, on LinkedIn. So maybe I can send her a message.
So that's my only really goal. Like when it comes to career, is find a remote job possibility. But my goal would be eventually to make something like this my career.
Yeah.
Or at least gain the business side of, if it doesn't work out to have a podcast, it works out to know how I got what we got, or how we made and grew our company and get into that field. I would love to do something more creative that way.
You know how you said your brain kind of works as a marketing perspective? I think once you're super good at marketing us, you could freelance.
That's kind of my thought process. I just need to get my feet wet and figure out how to do it. So yeah, what about you?
I'm more on the creative side. I don't see the marketing very much, but like I'm already seeing the video content I want to make and buy a good camera and learn how to do all the digital enhancements
and editing and
make little short films of us doing things.
Yes, you've always been really good at that. She's always done videos. Like we have one video when our friend got married a couple years ago. She put together the whole weekend into a video. There's one we had where a slip and slide party, and those are some of my favorite videos to go back and watch.
I love those kind of videos where you just take little moments and you put them together.
Yeah, they're so good.
They might not even mean anything to people who weren't there, but when you're there, it just feels like a little movie.
Yeah.
But I want to get into merch. Like, I don't know how soon we would have merch, but I like the idea of tit merch.
Yeah, I love the idea of merch.
Like, I want a hoodie.
Yeah,
we're gonna have hoodies soon. Like, it's already up here.
I love it,
and we don't need to wait to be famous to have hoodies.
Love a good merch. I'm a sucker for
merch. A bucket hat.
Oh, a bucket hat would be a vibe. I'm a sucker for a merch. So like all the YouTube channels I follow, I've bought merch for most of them. Like I have Smosh shirts. I have Smosh pants.
Stickers.
Stickers would be so much fun. I have a girl named Kelsey. She did like 100 Baby Challenge, and I have a t-shirt.
Wait, say that challenge again.
100 Baby Challenge. It's on the
100 Baby Challenge?
Yeah, it's on the Sims. It's one. I'm a single girl, and I'm playing the 100 Baby Challenge, where you have one sim, and they have 100 babies with 100 different dads.
Oh, yeah, you told me about this.
So,
did you see that somebody dressed up as a sim for Halloween?
With the little blob on the top. It's so cute. Yeah, so she had merch. I've bought her merch. My ASMR girl that I love, I'm like tempted to buy her merch. I'm just trying to be better about not buying stuff, but yeah, I love merch, so I'm totally down for that.
I'm excited. So I've just been thinking of tangible items, like a mug. Tits and Tenacity mug. Hell yeah. And then the digital items, like vlogging, video content.
I think once we get the hang of it, it'll be easy to we just got to get in that mindset of like, go out, make a video, just take little clips. Like this weekend, we have so much coming up. We're doing a Friendsgiving. We're seeing another friend for their birthday. Like just little clips that are not just, we don't have to have anybody's faces in it, but it can just be things that we can share that we did that are like little moments I think would be really nice to have.
I have gotten way more present though. So sometimes I don't remember to video as much as I used to because you know, when you're shy, it's easy to just walk around and videotape. You don't have to talk to anybody. And now I'm a little bit more present, so I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, I'm the kind of, I think I am more present where I'm just in the moment and not thinking about it as much. So that'll be something that I have to work on too. But
be part of our podcast. I forgot that I actually wrote digital items because I want to make, like, I'm not a perfect gym goer or anything, but I should create a PDF of like workouts you can do. Just why not try to make money off of a PDF? So
this would be really cool if you made like
copy somebody's goal wheel.
Well, like the idea of it,
the tit wheel of goals.
Yeah, the tit wheel of goals. Yeah, and I mean, like some of the things that I wrote down for the goals for like the podcast, I wrote down, 1,000 followers on YouTube. I don't know how quickly that will happen. YouTube's hard to knock into. But like 1,000 followers on YouTube, 10K on TikTok. I'd love to get to 10K because then we can start, joining the creator fund.
What's the timeline for these amount of followers?
This was 2025 goals. I think it just depends.
I think that's good.
Like YouTube can take a while to get kind of ramped up. Yeah. 10K on TikTok, if you get a viral enough video and you just keep that momentum of it, I think it's not hard to do.
I think once we're making content outside of the podcast,
I think that helps a lot too.
That's going to help.
Yeah. So I said have a guest on the podcast. I thought that would be really cool. And then post over 20 podcasts. I think that's a really easy goal. Like half the year next year, I think we can get it done. I think that's kind of the goal. Like I'd seen a TikTok. I don't know if it was actually real. Like if the information was factual, but he was like, 1 out of 100 podcasts only make it to 1 podcast, and 1 out of those podcasts only make it to 20, and none of those, and like the percentage got smaller and smaller, which makes sense. Like people don't keep up with it, kind of thing. So those were kind of my goals for at least the podcast.
Good goals. I like those goals.
What was our next category?
All right, let's go on. This one's a boring one, so let's just go through this one fast. Yeah. Well, not that I was going to skip it for good, but just like. Let's just do it, though. It doesn't have to last long. Finances.
Yay.
Finance goals. Go ahead first.
You go first, because I don't know that I had a goal necessarily for finance. Well, increase my income was the only thing I guess I could say was for my finance. So whether that be more money at work, whether that be I used to sell, I still have a Poshmark and an eBay and a Mercari and Depop. I am not as actively working on that. Just because is a lot sometimes. So I kind of
takes a lot of your time.
It takes a lot of my time. So I kind of took away, and I was spending more money. It felt like at times than I was making it. So I kind of just took a step away from it. I still have the stuff posted. I'll share that in the YouTube, and I'll post that.
Buy her stuff.
Yeah, buy my stuff. So that was how I got additional income. So really, I guess it is just coming to increasing my income through different job, through this activity, anything to, pay off bills. And I have a little bit of debt I'd like to pay off. That would be really fun to get that done. I'd love to make some updates to my house so it would be easier to sell or to rent out or make it easier around here. Things are always falling apart for my house. Last night I came in I spent all day grocery shopping. I went to 2 Targets and 2 Publixes yesterday. I was like,
this is after you left me?
Yes.
Dang.
So exhausted. And I got home and I was like doing stuff in my bathroom. And I looked up and I have above my bathroom, there's like 3 lights. And it's on like a
light bar?
Like a light bar, but it's like it's not a bar, it's like on the wall. And I looked up and it was just falling off.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, huh. I was like, well, that's not normal. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And I have a big mirror. So I was like, my luck, it's just going to fall and hit the mirror and break everything. So I was like, okay, how do I need to fix this? I was like, okay. I tried to mess with it and it's really heavy and I couldn't get it to like go back on. So like the screw fell behind the mirror. I'm like, of course it did. And then eventually, I was like, I'm just going to cut it and cut the wires. And then I was like, nope, you're going to electrocute yourself. Don't cut the wires. So I didn't cut the wires, but I had a little, very old from when I was a baby, like little plastic shelving unit.
Okay.
Because it was just hanging, and every time I touched it, it would get further hanging over further hanging over. And it's like hanging on by just like a metal wire, and then like the wires for the electricity. It's super heavy. And I was like, okay, so I put those things up there, and then I stacked a bunch of books on top of that, so it's leaning on that. I was like, I really should get that fixed.
I just don't understand how it randomly started.
I don't know. I think it might be on the chimney, so if like there's an animal in the chimney and it knocked it, I don't know.
You want me to go up there and look at it?
Well, we don't have to look at it right now.
I'm not a handyman, but I might be able. I'm a problem solver.
I've solved the problem for right now. It's sitting safely. I used my weird brain to figure out a solution until I won't be able to fix it until I get back from my trip. So but that's part of my finances. I would love to be able to fix that
and not have to worry about it, and maybe hire a man to frickin' do it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
What about your finances? Tell me.
Okay, so I've been with this company for over a year now, and I have yet to set up my 401k. I didn't think I'd still be with the company. I thought they were going to let me go. So I need to get my 401k set up because I'm missing out on matches. And that's just stupid, honestly.
Yeah.
And then my old 401k money from my job 2 jobs ago has just been sitting in a savings account, not growing, which is also stupid. So I need to go to the bank and have them. See, I don't know if I want my bank to keep it because I don't want to say what bank it is, but they're not an investment bank, and I kind of.
Is it in a normal just savings? It's not like a 401k.
It's a savings specific to
like a 401k
IRA stuff. But I kind of want to get it to like a Charles Schwab, who they are investment professionals.
You should do a Roth. A Roth, I've heard, is really good.
I do Roth.
Okay, so yeah.
You should absolutely do Roth.
Yeah.
I used to think when I first started my 401k at Morgan & Morgan so many years ago, I was doing traditional, thinking that made more sense because I thought the taxes are going to be higher when I'm old. That's a dumb way to look at it. You should do Roth so you're paying your taxes up front, so when you do retire, you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Let's see. I pretty much just. Oh, and I want secondary income. Basically, just selling some kind of product.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goal. I'd love the secondary income to be the main income. Eventually, that's the goal.
Yeah. Eventually.
Yeah.
Or find a rich husband who wants to take care of me. I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not opposed to that if it's leisurely and I love him. I'd love a leisure life that way. Go to the gym, take care of the babies,
Yeah, bake chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Waffles.
Breakfast.
All right, our next category is family and friends.
Okay. So, you go first on this one because I got to think about how I want to.
So goals with family and friends mainly my goal is just keeping in touch. I'm not the best at keeping in touch with people. And I don't think that it's necessarily a bad thing, because I think the people I don't keep in touch with aren't part of this time of my life. Mm-hmm. Like, we're clearly off on different pages. We still love each other, but we're just striving for different things. And I like the way that our friends keep in touch. We have group chats and on texting and Instagram, and it's so fun to just share things and get a laugh together. And I want to join a club so I can meet new people. I want to, like, you get out there and you meet people. Yeah. I need to do that. I need to go out there and I need to try to make a friend with a stranger. Oh, it's so hard. It's scary. It's scary. And maybe it'll happen while dating. Maybe dating will introduce me to more people. So, yeah, that's cool. And for some reason I wrote holidays, but
I guess
that's not a goal. It's just the only time I see my family.
No, you see your family all the time.
Yeah, I guess.
You see your grandparents every month, right? Once a month?
Kind of.
Yeah. You see your mom all the time.
I call that a holiday. See my mom every day.
Same.
Okay, what about your family and friends goals? What about your family and friends goals, Francis?
Francis, tell me your
Paris, France. What are your family and friends goals?
I guess it would just be keeping it up.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of family. It's mainly just like my parents, and then I have a cousin who I'm really close with, his kids and him and his wife. They live out of town though, so it's a little bit harder. So I'd like to see them. And just hang out with our friends. I mean, we're really blessed with a really good group of friends that are all really close, except for our one friend that moved away, which we're sad about. And I have a friend that lives in Michigan. So yeah, spend time with friends. I'd really like to, we have a girls trip we planned on. I think that's really good. I want to travel more with our friends. I think that'll be really fun.
Our friends have daughters, so we get to watch them grow up and be a part of their...
One of my best friends is having a baby. So I'm really excited to be the father. I love being the father of the child. So I'm really excited for her to have her and be involved in that. And I've gotten to go to a couple of appointments and stuff like that. So that's been really fun. I feel pretty safe in my friendship, so I don't worry too much, or it's almost something I don't really think about that much, because I'm happy with what it is. I don't need more friends. If they come along, they come along. I'm really blessed to have a really good friend that used to be she was a bartender, and she's the one that's a brewer now, and we're really good friends and spend time with her. I have friends I go to trivia with, where I kind of bro out, and, I'm with a pretty girl at the table full of boys and just hang out with them. So yeah, it's good. I don't know, I guess just keep it up going, but remember myself that I need to have some alone time every once in a while too. I'm not always good at saying no.
I do feel like you're constantly on the go.
Yeah, the next month and a half is like wild with how many things, but I don't want to miss out on anything, so it's kind of hard to not say yes.
And one day when your friend's baby is getting married, you'll be the father of the bride.
Exactly. Oh my god, that'd be so much cute.
Which I heard on a TikTok today, and it has Steve Martin in it.
It does.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Yeah, we've talked about this because those were
I know we talked about it in our podcast. I'm aware. That's why I made the father of the bride joke.
Yeah, it's Steve Martin and Diane Keaton.
You didn't just pull that out of my butt.
No, I know, but I was saying it also has Diane Keaton in it.
I love Diane Keaton.
And Kimberly Williams Paisley before she was Kimberly Williams Paisley. She's married to Brad Paisley.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was married to somebody who was known.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He actually has also a song. So he wrote a song about going to see Father of the Bride 1, and how he thought she was really pretty, and he took his girlfriend, and then maybe he went and saw the Father of the Bride 2 and was like, oh, she's really pretty, and that's who he ended up marrying.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was cute.
So we need to see more movies.
Yeah. Oh, we're seeing Wicked. Friend date, Wicked.
When is that again?
When I get back, so I get like the 21st.
Okay. Yeah. Our next category is love and romance. You're first.
I don't really have any goals on love and romance. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I just don't. I'm already busy. I have a lot going on. So like if it obviously naturally happens, every time I'm around somebody and I think, oh, they're cute, and then they open their mouth and I just don't agree with them. I will one day share the TikTok that is my favorite TikTok that I quote all the time, which is, my kink is liberal men who look like Republicans. And I have her saved somewhere. She was my favorite, best one-liner of all time. So right now I just don't have a lot of want or need to be in a relationship. We've talked about some traveling that we've talked about doing and thought that would be cool to do some like dates when we do that. But right now it's not a focus of mine.
It does sound less scary than dating in your hometown where you live.
Yeah. I feel like I know a lot of people here.
Like I can pretend to be somebody else.
Yeah, or just like, it doesn't have to be so scary. Like, hey, we're here for a month. I'd love to go hang out with you and your friends. Like, something like that. But what about you? You have more on this.
I only wrote Hinge down. I don't really have any goals. I think my only goal is not to be so okay with being single for another 7 years. Like, I want to force myself out there. I want to purposefully fail in dating if that's how it happens.
Yeah.
But at least try. Because, like,
I'm being open to it.
I'm good being alone, but I don't want to be alone.
It's being open to it. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah. And being okay with it not working out.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of life, is just being okay with it not working out and doing it anyway.
Just gotta live. Like, it's hard to just have to keep living, and if it happens, it happens, and not be closed off to it, is what I always have to remind myself.
100. We're on to recreation. So this is just like fun leisure things that we like to do. What do we want to travel?
Okay, yeah. Travel might even go into, that's what I was thinking, might go into physical environment.
It also goes there.
But yeah, travel is a big one for me. I haven't been on a trip since January, and it's slowly killing me. I'm going on a trip in a couple days to Detroit and Toronto for Taylor Swift that I'm very excited about. But
you said that so nonchalantly, like you're not going to Canada.
It's fun and exciting.
It's your first time in Canada.
No, it's not.
What?
It's my first time as an adult in Canada.
Well, I think
it's my first time in Toronto. I don't know where we went as a child. I vaguely remember going. But
it doesn't count. Nope. Vague means this first time in Canada.
My favorite thing about going to Canada as a child, the one thing that I remember, is they used to have these little, I guess candy's the right word, like snacks. They were waffle cones with marshmallow on the inside, and then it like made a little marshmallow on the top, like ice cream cone. And that was what I remember about Canada. And it was my favorite thing.
I
love it.
Darn it.
I know the yawn. We're both tired, I think. So those were my favorite snacks. That's what I remember about Canada, is we were in
marshmallow ice cream cones, candies.
Yep, that's what I remember, and they were really yummy.
I'm gonna Google that and see if I can like insert a picture of them.
Do it, because I would die to have some. I couldn't have them now, but
why?
They probably have red dye in them, but
they weren't just white marshmallow.
No, they had like sprinkles on top, like the little, like a peep. It was almost like a peep on top, is what I remember it as. I loved them.
Do you like Peeps?
I do.
I liked Peeps when I was younger. Then I was like, what the?
To be honest, Peeps are one of like the few like sugary treats like that I can have. As long as I don't have the pink one, I can have them. I'll have like one just for nostalgia. I don't need a whole pack, but I will eat them if given the opportunity to. Because
are you a Cadbury?
I'm
Cadbury
not a Cadbury egg person.
They're they might not taste disgusting, but the
I've heard the chocolate is better overseas Cadbury wise. Like, we don't get the good Cadbury. They have it better because of how they have like their cream is different than our cream. So I've heard it's better overseas.
I bet I 100% would agree that without tasting it, theirs is better.
Yeah.
But it's just the thought of all that gook inside.
I can't do the squares, the Ghirardellis.
With the things on the goop in the inside?
I can't. So I'm a slut for an Andes mint. I actually have to start rebuying them at the Publix to have some in the house, because you never get them at Olive Garden when you go anymore. And
what?
Sometimes I don't get them, so they don't give them to you.
I just pulled like 4 old ones out of my purse today.
Oh, yummy. So like I got some the other day, but I was like, if I can only get them at Publix, so I have to specifically be in mind to go. There's certain things I have to go to Publix for. And I was like, I'll just get these Ghirardelli squares. Yeah. And the first time I bit into it and there was goo, I didn't realize there was goo. No.
I don't think a mint goo sounds good. But
horrible.
Caramel.
I like caramel. Like, I eat the salty caramels that I get the Baker Tax.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have those.
The Ghirardelli ones are more goopy.
And I love the Russell Stovers. Like, growing up, my grandmother would eat the Russell Stover caramels. So, like, I love those. But the mint was gross.
Yeah, they also have a dark chocolate raspberry, and the raspberry's the goo. I love those. But mint sounds disgusting.
I don't know if I could do the raspberry goo because
it's red.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
But yeah, so we want to travel. So
I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, so like we want to travel. That's one of our big things. We kind of have some tentative plans next year if everything lines up correctly the way we want it to. That in May we'll start traveling for the end of the year and do like a place in a city. So we're gonna eventually reach out to you guys for some suggestions on where to go,
where to go next,
what to do, and yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. So traveling's a big thing for
I think
both
these
of us.
are. Let's just merge these two, so we don't have to talk about traveling twice.
Like physical location.
Yeah, I mean, what else are we gonna say under that?
It's mentally gonna help me to not be here. Physically, location wise, I think it's gonna help me. For some reason, I'm much.
No, I mean like physical environment goals. Other than traveling, what else would that entail?
If I were to stay here, like I would want to do certain upgrades to the house. I would want to like do stuff around the yard. That's still stuff eventually I'd like to do. Get into a place that's more mentally healthy. Like that was one reason I sold my last house was it was a family home and I had a lot of like mental drain from being inside of it. So I physically changed my surroundings. I think that's a big thing for me is the traveling. I'm hoping is going to help change my thought process. I can change my thought process without traveling, but I think it's going to help me be able to be out around other people and be around people that I feel like I'm more in common with. I think that's something I struggle with here sometimes. Yeah. I'm excited. What other
recreational things I'd like to do for funsies is more camping. I'd like to get into writing. I started a book today called Story by Robert McKee, I believe it is. And he is diving into creative writing and what it is to be a good writer. So I'd like to get into writing, mainly just to take my feelings and make them sound more poetic.
Yeah, like
and make stuff out of that. And I'd like to draw more, which I haven't been doing.
Get there.
Yeah. And you've been writing.
That's one of my things on my list was keep reading and writing. You
want to talk about what you've been writing?
Well, I haven't written in a hot second. It's been probably a month or two since I've written anything. But I started a book, like a fantasy book.
What inspired you to write a fantasy book?
I read some fantasy books.
Nar.
I read some ACOTAR and some fairy porn, and I read all those fun books. I don't know. I used to like writing as a kid. I read a lot as a kid, and I went through a phase where I liked writing, and I thought I was good at it. And I would say probably now looking back, it was just me having fun with it.
Isn't that what it all is? Starts from fun and turns into a skill.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed what I've written so far, and I still have it all in my brain. So my goal is eventually to start back up. I feel like I've just been a little overwhelmed. So emotionally, my brain had not been there. I got to a point I was a couple chapters in, and I got to a point where I had to. There's a character I still haven't named yet, and it makes me mad that I haven't named him. And I really want his name to be very specific, and I'm having a hard time writing him without a name. I don't know why. And he's not even like, he's a main character, but he's not the main like love interest, or I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. So I got really mad at him in the middle of writing this scene and trying to figure out how in depth I wanted the main girl character and him's relationship to be. And I wrote the scene and then I was a little burnt out from it. So I have to go back and kind of like dig back into it. I need to go back and write like a little bit of an outline or like a little bit more of a synopsis, but it's all in my head and I have ideas.
I bet as we get better at podcasting, your writing will start to come together more too.
And I've been thinking about it a lot more too. Like I've been thinking about writing, which for about a month or two I wasn't thinking about writing, like it wasn't even a thought. But I've been like, my creative juices, the very few that I have, are like starting to rumble again. And there's a couple other like book ideas that I think are really cool that I would like to do. I have like an idea for either a book with like a man and a woman or soulmates or whatever, and they have to find each other through time, but like through like famous couples, but I haven't quite figured that out yet, how that's going to work. Not sure. So there's a couple other books I think would be fun to read that are that kind of idea, like Ministry in Time I've heard is a really good book that I'm thinking about downloading. I'll have some time coming up on my trip to read a little bit.
I just thought of a fun idea for me and you.
Yeah.
We come up with 2 characters and then we write 2 separate books. Dang, that's a fun idea too.
Like back and forth.
Back and forth sounds like a fun idea too.
Yeah.
We're going to take 2 characters and then we each write separate stories, but it'll still be part of the same series. So we have to come up with like a similar
like plot?
Not necessarily plot, but there's got to be something that's similar so that it could be a part of the same series, but they're going to be 2 completely different stories, but with the same people in it, if that makes sense.
Almost like a multiverse type thing?
Kinda, yeah.
I love a multiverse.
I think that would be fun, especially with our different perspectives.
I love a multiverse, and I love in another lifetime. Gets me so good. Mm-hmm. I love it. So that's kind of that's one of my couple thoughts. So reading, I want to keep reading, obviously, and then keep writing. Those are my main 2 creative things. I would like to do some more fashion stuff as well. That's another thing that I really love, and I have kind of let myself not indulge in and kind of focus on. So fashion is one of my goals.
For ourselves or?
For me, yeah. I'd love to just get back to wearing what I like and like feeling good in what I'm wearing and have fun with it. I haven't had fun with it in a while. So that's kind of one of the things creatively I think would be fun to do.
I think I'm dipping my toe into fashion a little bit. Today I put on Frannie's idea for the bandana. Excuse me. Oh. And I put it on over a t-shirt just because it felt more comfortable that way today. This is the bandana I got at a thrift store a couple weeks ago, and I put it on as a top.
Yeah, super cute.
And in the summertime, maybe there won't be a shirt underneath.
Wow, so soft.
Show some shoulder.
Shoulder. Yeah, so I think that'll be fun. We've had some kind of discussions about some cute TikToks that it would be to do. I
think I know what I'm doing.
Like some clothes trying on.
Yes. That'll be fun. Yeah. I'm actually really excited for those days. We love a thrift store find and mall, but I like the mystery of a thrift store.
Thrift stores are fun. It's a little harder for me being a little bit more like on the plus size side to kind of find that, but yeah. Okay, what's our next section?
I can't believe we're at 50 minutes already.
It's gone by so fast.
Self-care.
Oh god.
You go first. Do you have any like self-care goals?
Yep, so I guess my 2, what's our other last one that we have after self-care? Personal
growth and learning. Okay. We can kind of combine
let's do those together.
We are running out of time.
Yeah, so my personal goals, personal care, self-care, personal growth, I'm going to focus on my manifestation of my gratitude. So I'm a grateful person, but I think I need to be more cognizant of that gratefulness and let that flow through me and I think that goes along with manifesting. So be grateful for what I have and the idea of I already have what's meant for me. That's one of the things that they talk about with manifestation is if you see yourself doing something or you want something so bad and you just think about it, it's because future you already has it. So I need to get better in that mindset of future me already has it. That's why I want it so badly because I already have it. So that's one thing I'm going to focus on. I'm going to go try to get back into writing into my journal on a better basis. Journal's not the right word. I'm not really a journaler. I would be open to it, but it's...
Well, what else would you be... Like you writing stuff, what would that be called?
It's more of like a manifestation journal, so it's the same manifestation.
It gives you prompts?
No, I went through a bunch of manifestation TikToks and wrote down a bunch of things that I thought were really good statements that I wrote down. I might can share that. That's something I can share. And then I wrote my own of like, I want a job with a base salary of $100,000. I am in a relationship that's a romantic relationship. Are
you writing it present? Like I am. Okay, that's what I heard. You got to do it like that.
So I have those in there, but then I also have like the universe is happy for me. Like it's a full front and back page of a notebook.
I love that.
And so it's something I would write every day. So I just need to get back in the habit of doing it. It just feels like sometimes I run out of time.
I know.
Day to do it.
I know what you mean.
So that's one of the things I want to focus on, is kind of combining those 2 and making them happen. And then I'm trying to get better about self-care, as in getting my gua sha. I just dropped my gua sha in the shower, so
and broke it. Oh no!
It's because I don't have like anywhere to keep it in the shower, so it kind of falls all over the place. So I want to get a gua sha again. I want to keep dry brushing. I have a shield that I use that's like red light, blue light that I've been using it a little bit more recently. Yeah.
You have a face mask that has the lights in it?
Yeah.
Oh, fancy.
I got it for my birthday, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I was using it really commonly is not the right word, really frequently at my birthday time and was like using it. And then I got all sad for a couple months, so I stopped using it, but I started using it again and I want to get back to doing that. So my goal is to do that, and then to dry brushing. I have it's not a bloat. It's like almost a mud mask, but like for different parts of your body. So I have one I put on my stomach, and that makes me feel better. And I forget that just doing that made me feel good, whether it actually changes anything or not.
Placebo effect is real.
So do that, do dry brushing, do gua sha, make sure I'm, doing stuff with my face, doing things that make me feel better. And then eventually my other goals I have written down would be to train for a race. So my goal last year was to run a half marathon. It did not happen, which is fine. Well, this year, technically. That's fine. I did really good at the beginning of the year. I was really strong, and then it was 100 degrees every day during the summer, and I was sad, so I didn't do the training.
Yeah, but you had done a 13.
I did a 5K, and then I did the Gay River run. So that's
13K?
11 or 13K, so it's like 9 miles. Did not run it. I walked it, but I did it. So my goal is to, it also was, this past weekend was New York City Marathon weekend.
I saw so many cute videos for that.
It makes me so happy. So I'm hoping, one of my goals is, if we can, to be in New York next marathon. Okay. I don't think I would run the marathon, obviously.
So next November.
To be there at the beginning of the month would be really fun, to see the race and
then be there for a month or two.
Yeah, and kind of go through. I think it would be so much fun. So, so I want to train for a race or just keep running in general. I ran today on my lunch break. And then work on my health, so going to the gym on a more regular basis and just focusing on that, because I know I feel better when I do it. I just have to remember that.
You want to talk about that?
I have my Oura ring.
So you're working on your sleep health. You said that's why you mainly got it.
My sleep health is kind of trash. I learned that last night. My first night was great. Last night it gave me like a 67. So I did not sleep as much as I should have last night, but it is what it is. So that's the main reason I got it, was the sleep part of it. And I'm enjoying it so far already. What about you? Sleep. She said sleep.
I probably should work on my sleep health. There were a couple of things that you mentioned that I was writing some notes down along the way so I wouldn't forget. You mentioned a gratitude practice. Mm-hmm. And one thing that I do to make sure I'm getting my gratitude in is like, well, first thing in the morning, I haven't gone on my walks, but when I would, I'd immediately start with what I'm grateful for. Mm-hmm. And I think it really does make a big difference if you intentionally, like, have you ever heard of habit stacking?
I think you've told me about it before, yeah.
So is there anything in the morning that you do every morning that's a habit? It's part of your routine?
Most of my habits are at night before work. So I'm not a good morning person, so I don't wake up in the morning.
You could do gratitude at night then. If you're doing other habits, stack it with
that would be probably more
practice.
Where I would go with like my manifestation would be writing at night. Yeah, those are things I can't just, I don't wake up early enough in the morning. So like at night, my goal is to like, I come in the kitchen and I take nuts to work. So I put them in a Ziploc bag, and then I put my vitamins in a Ziploc bag, and I make sure there's water for tomorrow in the refrigerator. And then once I get upstairs, that may be where I read or I do my manifestation or I put my face mask on and that kind of thing. Yeah. So it could be something I could build into that just at nighttime.
And if you find the time to say it out loud too. Do I say it out loud? I can't remember if I actually say it out loud.
I try to, when I'm writing in my manifestation, that I either say it out loud or I mouth it out loud.
Yeah.
Like, I don't always may not say it out loud, because depending on how fast I can write, but I try to like
maybe it
breathe it.
I think it so intentionally that it just feels like I'm speaking it out loud. Another thing you said was remembering to do your manifest journal and stuff. And we talked about how we are undiagnosed ADHD. And one thing that helps with that issue is having things out so you can see it. Mm-hmm. Like if I don't see my journal, I'm not going to remember to journal. But if my journal is out and I can see it, it helps me feel that motivation, that pull towards it, because I want to do it. Like it's in me to want to do it. Yeah. But if I can't see it, it does not exist.
That's probably one of my health things, is work on an ADHD or an ADD diagnosis. So would be really interesting.
I self-diagnosed myself ADHD like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And it started with, I've always kind of just been drawn to things that make me feel better. And I noticed how important a routine is for me. Mm-hmm. And that's very ADHD based. like being in routine, I feel like I'm on top of the world. And if I'm not, immediately like mental health issues.
Yeah.
So one of my personal health / self-care goals was building a routine. And then I was going to go into why and all that, but I didn't write it down. But like why I want a routine is because I am my best self when I have a routine. And it's not even that serious. It's wake up, go to the gym. Mm-hmm. If I can just do that, I feel so good from the endorphins that it's like, success. I want to journal more. I have not been making the time to journal either.
She journals really well. Her journal things like actual journaling, like really good.
I just get my feelings out.
Yeah.
And it helps a lot.
It's like writing little letters.
But even if I forget to journal, I'm talking to myself all day. Yeah. So it gets out, but I like to go back and read it. You're
very retrospective in that.
Yeah, aspect. I like to go back and be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Gratitude practice. Anytime I'm intentional about my gratitude, but there's not something specific that I'm grateful for, I always say how grateful I am for my senses. Mm-hmm. Because as my eyes have gotten worse, I have cried because I can tell that I just can't see the same, and it breaks my heart. Yeah. So I always say how grateful I am to be able to see whatever it is I'm looking at. Usually I'm outside. Yeah. Hear whatever I'm hearing, which is usually birds chirping or somebody's mowing the grass. It's just nice to say, okay, I can hear, and I'm grateful for that. Yeah. I'm grateful that I can touch and I can smell and I can taste. And if I can just say that, it's like,
it's better than nothing.
It's a good start. Yeah, that's really it. That's really it. Dang, we did good.
So now we just got to do our little closing. So yeah. Did we want to share TikToks today, or we want to leave TikToks
Let's skip TikToks today just because we're already at an hour.
So then do our
unless there was one that you can remember that you...
I have quite a few right now, the saves that I need to go through and watch that I haven't had the patience to watch yet. But I do want to do a TikTok for like all of our favorite ones, because I think that would be really cool. Like shout out all of our favorite ones, like TikToks that you see.
Oh, our favorite
like creators. And
got it. As far as my favorites, Gouda and 1-800-Biotch, I thought about that on the way over here, and I really didn't have anything. So if you have anything,
1-800-Biotch is the one that came up to me just. Tomorrow we vote. Well, tomorrow other people vote. So I'm a little... We voted. I voted early. Saturday. I was an emotional wreck the whole time. I was just so... I tried not to cry. I did a good job. I didn't cry. But that's probably my 1-800-Biotch, is just being nervous about that and everything that comes along with it, and hoping that people make what I feel like is the right decision. And yay Kamala. I'm nervous about that and what that looks like our future for not just us, but other women. And then I don't know if I had a 1-800-Gouda.
1-800-Gouda. Our fave is Gouda.
My brain, you guys.
1-800-Gouda.
I don't know if I had our favorite Gouda. Did you have a 1-800-Biotch you can think of, or no? Nothing came up?
No.
Pretty good.
I think I already bitched it out or something. I've already bitched about it.
My favorite Gouda, I'm trying to think anything specific that came up.
I mean, I had a really good week.
Yeah, my week was fine. It was pretty good. I'm wearing my Madam Vice President shirt tomorrow to work. So
I don't know what that means.
I bought a t-shirt for the last election that says Madam Vice President. Oh. So it's, instead of just Vice President, it's Madam.
Got it.
So I'm thinking I'm going to wear that.
Is she our first female Vice President? Mm-hmm. Is she really?
Yeah.
McCain didn't get elected. You're right, because it was that Alaskan lady, Palin.
Palin, yes. I can see Russia from my backyard.
Over the something Strait, the Bering Strait.
Yeah.
I think that's some geography. I'm pretty sure it's the Bering Strait.
Yeah. And then other than that, I can't really think if there was anything really fun. Oh, I've just been thinking a lot about my favorite. I'm going to go with my favorite Gouda this week is Domingo. I can't stop. I was at one of our breweries in town hanging out with my friend, and she was working, and she was like walking around being like, with a hot guy, Domingo. And I was like, why are you singing that? She's like, oh, her husband was just singing it, and he got there and he was singing it the whole time. So now I kind of just can't stop thinking about Domingo and how fantastic Domingo is. And SNL's just been really killing it. So that's my high point, was that I really enjoyed some SNL skits that I've seen lately.
Nice.
They've been really good.
Did you see, the Kamala one?
The Kamala Lamala.
Yes. The There were so many people that hated that, obviously.
Yeah.
But I thought it was hilarious.
I love somebody who can make fun of themselves and like, but still be a good person. Like, it's great. So yeah, I'm like, Kamala Mamala, keep Kamala. I was like, Kamala keeps Kamala. And I was like,
her name's
Maya Rudolph.
She does so good.
Yeah, she's really good.
They could be sisters.
Yeah, like it was really funny because they also did this. John Mulaney was the host and Chappell Roan was the singer, and he did a skit, and I had seen a previous skit that he did, and it was a skit he wrote 10 years ago, and it's in a diner, and it's Pete Davidson and a guy in a diner, and him, and he's the waiter, and the Pete Davidson goes, I want to order the lobster. He's like, in a diner? And he's like, yeah, in a diner. Kenan Thompson comes out as a lobster in a vat of water and is standing there and starts singing Les Mis as the lobster, like, you take my life. Like, it is the funniest thing. And it's a skit that he wrote as a writer on SNL 10 years ago, and they didn't do it until he came back as the host a couple years ago. And it is the funniest thing I've ever seen in a long time.
We'll have to share that.
It's so good. But then this time they did one, they brought Pete Davidson back, and they did one with multiple types of Broadway shows in it. So like there was an Aladdin part. There was
same lobsters.
Wasn't a lobster this time. It started off with possums. He went to the bus station in New York, and they're like, oh, what can we get you? And the one guy's like, I'd like a charger that doesn't work. And he's like, here's a cord, a rope. And then the next Pete Davidson goes, I want the milk. And he goes, you want the gallon of milk?
Okay, let's share it on the we'll share it on the TikTok.
It's pretty funny, and it was pretty good. It's pretty good. It's fantastic. So yeah, those are my
woohoo! Yeah. Okay. Well, episode 2 done.
Follow and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. I'm gonna get our Substack up, so follow us on there, and then follow us on YouTube. And we'll be back
Apple Podcasts, Spotify
next Friday.
Deuces.
Bye.
Bye.